Today's show is pre-recorded.
Y'all know what time it is. Y'all don't know, y'all better ask somebody. Hat on, suit on, looking like a dapper dog, giving them all, dressed like $1 million bucks, diamond things in its cuffs. Y'all tell me who could it be but Steve Harvey? Yeah, listening to me. Put your hands together for Steve Harvey. Put your hands together. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, why don't you join in? Steve Harvey, get them on, y'all. Better give me some eggs while I listen. Steve Harvey, why don't you join in with me? If you're with me, help me say, I'm so grateful. You gotta turn on, yeah. Steve Harvey got to turn them out. Got to turn them out. Harvey turn them on in the morning, y'all. Yeah. Come on, Steve. Come on. Do your thing, Big Daddy.
I sure will. Good morning, everybody. You are listening to The Voice. One and only Steve Harvey got a radio show. Come on, y'all. I said that a little bit wrong this morning, but I'm tired. I just came out the gym. I'm a little out of sorts right now, but it's okay. I'll pull it together. But let me tell you something, man. I got a clear-cut message for you today. I really do. You know, as I've gotten older, I've began to take some supplements. And supplements are to help your body in things that it doesn't produce as much as it used to. Supplements are designed to help you replenish what's been depleted in your body. As supplements. Now, there are people I can tell you who can speak a lot more aggressively and a lot more knowledgeable on this subject, but just giving you just a brief overview of my understanding of it. Now, if you've been living your life for a while, supplements are necessary for most of us. Now, also, if you've been living your life for a while, spiritually, you may need some supplements. Because you just been at it for a while. You done got wore down a little bit. You're tired. Some people around you ain't changing. Some people around you draining. It's just life just keeps on coming. Life don't ever get no easier. It just, you become more knowledgeable about how to handle it. It does not get any easier. You continue to lose loved ones. You continue to have to confront the challenges. It's just that over a course of time, you become experienced and you can handle them better. But life don't get no easier. But spiritually, you get a little bit worn down. Well, you need some spiritual supplements too. And I'm just going to flat out tell you, the more God that you can replenish yourself with, the higher the dosage of God that you are willing to put into your spiritual self, the possibilities then become limitless. You actually have the ability to make a conscious decision to supplement your body, and you have a conscious decision to supplement your spirit. You can do both. So what I did was, I could just tell you what I did. I was taking all these supplements. I started taking supplements when I was about 45, I think. That's when I began. I was thinking about it one day, and I just went, wow, man. I started talking to some knowledgeable people. I found out I needed these things. But then spiritually, man, I started supplementing myself too. I started praying some more. I started trying to gain a little bit more knowledge and wisdom and understanding from scriptures, and just try to make sense of all of it. You know, just make a little bit more sense out of my life. Make sure that I was on the right path. As a matter of fact, get on the right path. Find out my real purpose and my mission in life. And nobody can do that for you. That's something that you have to want to do. But I started supplementing my spiritual side of my life and supplementing my body. Now, I happen to be right now about in the best shape I've ever been in, technically. I can assure you, though, I am in the best shape spiritually I have ever been in. Now, my body has looked better. It really has. I mean, come on now. At where I am in life, at the stage, with the years I've been walking this earth, man, I'm cool. But spiritually, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. And what it's done for me, y'all, it's gave me a peace and a calmness. You know, it used to be, man, I used to fight so hard against people who attacked me. Now, man, it ain't that serious to me, because now I have a full understanding that if I come under attack, that God is with me, because that's a promise he made. That's Isaiah 54:17. That's any weapon formed against you, shall not prosper. You can't come and get me. I'm not here for you to take down, because you didn't put me here. So why would I fear a person bringing me down when they're not the reason that I'm here? So when you attack me, you have to be careful, because I ain't ever by myself. I formed a relationship with the Most High that I can rely on for protection, for coverage, and for peace. A lot of times when things used to stress me out, how to run this, how to handle this, how to deal with that. You know, fame is rough, man. And then you put that together with some business, and you put that together with your family. You got a lot of stuff you're trying to tend to. I have a peace of mind about it now, because I have someone who provides me with a sense of understanding and calmness that lets me know that this too shall pass. That it ain't just a saying that I heard old people say, that it ain't just something my mama used to tell me. It's something that can really happen once you get an understanding. This too shall pass. This is just another piece of life that you are now better equipped to handle. I'm telling you what it's done for me. Millions of people out there hear me, man. It's done the same thing for them. I'm telling it new to some people, but there's some people that sure enough understand what I'm saying. And then if you have known this but kind of forgot it, it's time for some supplements. So when you get like that, and now you find yourself in a situation with a disease or something, you got to do something. Now you got to start juicing all your greens. You got to start detoxing your body. You got to start purifying the system. See, the human body has always had a way to repair itself if you just give it a chance. Your mind has always had a chance to repair itself if you give it a chance. And your spirit always has a chance to repair itself if you give it a chance. It's the only way I can maintain at this level, and it's the only way I have any chance of going further. I have to increase my dosage of spiritual supplements. I got to talk to God a little bit more. I got to pray a little bit more. I got to understand his word a little bit more. That's all I'm telling you, man. If you do that, if you just pray more, if you just study a little bit more, man, just try to get an understanding. Ask him to help you understand. It will open up the possibilities of your life into a realm you never could have imagined. I'm telling you, that's real, okay?
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is here. It is time. The Steve Harvey Morning Show. Inspirational, motivational, enlightening, encouraging, in full support of racial justice, equality for all people, and we support peaceful protests. Keep marching, young people. Keep standing up for what you believe in. This is the one that can make the biggest difference since Martin Luther King. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Harvey Morning Show, Shirley Strawberry.
Hey, good morning, Steve.
Carla Farrell.
Good morning. What's up, crew? Hey, Steve. What's happening?
Junior's on vacation. What's up, J. Anthony Brown?
What up, Steve Harvey? What's going
The
on?
legend, the prank legend, nephew Tommy.
Yay, in the building on a Monday morning with my uncle. That's how we do it. That's what family do. We talk
Well,
stupid for
so
fun.
how was y'all's weekend?
Why do you ask it like that?
It was the same as the week.
Because I want to hear you try to make something up. You ain't went nowhere. Less and less people are believing that COVID is still existing.
I think you're right, Steve, because I'm seeing less and less masks, fewer masks.
I'm just seeing people just doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
And
swimming.
I believe that there's still a COVID. Now, I know most people right now is more afraid of getting their ass whooped than catching the disease. I do understand that, but let me just calm y'all down. The majority of the protests have reverted back to the peaceful nature. They've listened to some instruction where we're not hustling backwards. We're gaining momentum. They're talking about changing laws right now. We're getting a lot of help that I've never seen before from non-African Americans. And I was walking the other day, and I saw an Asian guy who was out jogging. On his back in magic marker was Black Lives Matter.
Wow.
I said, my man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Other races are
thank
now.
you, because we couldn't do it on our own. Because no one was listening to us. Now they are. You
That's
know.
right.
And you know why I
Around
think
the
they're listening,
world.
Shirley?
Why?
Because of COVID-19.
That was
Well, I think because the world was standing still. I think there was no happy hour. I think there was no summer vacations. I think there
weren't
was
busy.
no I think there was no spring break, family reunions. I think people were quarantined, and this became the news story. And without any diversion of life as we normally know it, I think people had a chance to see it and had to deal with it, because that, just like COVID, became the only news. And all of a sudden people were going, wait a minute.
I think you're absolutely right, Steve.
Yeah,
I think you are absolutely right.
I agree with you, because we've been shouting this from the rooftops for, I mean, you mentioned, like how long you've been doing it, dealing with this for years and years and years in our lifetime, in our parents' lifetimes. And everyone's saying this time it's different.
This time it is different. And it's happening around the world.
Yes, not just here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, coming up at 32 minutes after the hour, Steve Harvey and J. Anthony Brown. We're going to switch it up a little bit and get some laughter in here like we do. They're going to make us laugh inside of something funny. We'll do that right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
We're going to start the show off on a lighter note this Monday morning. Time now for something funny. We're going to do part 1 and part 2 with Steve and Steve, okay?
They've heard me. You remember when I was my closing remarks, I was asking for white outrage. I was looking for
Yes, of
just a
course,
few good white folks.
Yeah.
Well, we found them. And they out there and they marching and they protesting on behalf of Black Lives Matter. So now I've been talking with them. And what they want to say to us in an open letter to us, there are some things that they're asking of black people since they've joined in the protest.
Okay.
So it's more like a Dear Black People type letter.
Okay.
Since we participated in the protest, these are some things that we'd like for you to do to help us.
help you.
Oh, and this is from who now, Steve?
This is from white people.
A few
Okay.
good white
All
people.
right.
This is from a few good white people.
You good white people.
Okay.
So here's some things they want from us. Number one, they want us to watch and play more lacrosse.
Lacrosse. Are you
We
serious?
need y'all to watch it
Don't
so you can
complain.
know what we're doing, and we need some of you to play. Jim Brown played, he was great.
Okay.
Here's the next thing we're going to need for black people to do since we're out there helping with the protest. We need every black person to eat at least one pumpkin pie a year.
Now that's not gonna happen.
That's not going to happen. I'm not doing that.
We getting pushed and knocked down, shot with rubber bullets. We need your ass out here. Stop telling us what you don't want to do.
Okay.
Here's something else we're asking of black people since we're participating in the riots, in the protests. These are from white folks.
Okay.
Number three, we want you to hike more.
Oh no.
We don't want to look out on the trails and it's just us. Come on, guys, hike.
We don't hike.
Up a hill, a trail, bees, snakes, get in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, we want you, here's a big one. Please, for the love of God, bring your dogs in the house.
Man. That ain't
Stop
what black
tying
people
their ass up outside at the tree.
do. We don't do
They
that.
shut in on the screen porch.
Yeah.
Please bring your dogs inside. These are things white people want from us since they're helping with the
Okay.
protest.
They have a list of demands. Okay. got it.
Number 5, stop cussing at your damn kids.
That's not going to happen.
They're asking the impossible.
No, it's just little stuff. They getting shot by rubber bullets. They helping us out in these protests. These are things white people want from us. Number 6, we're just asking black people to just be a little bit, just a little bit more nosier. Because all
mind
that
our business.
minding your own damn business,
We do.
you ain't got nothing to do with this? No. Stick your nose in it. Get involved.
Okay. We might be able to do that one.
Here's something that we
Especially the
want
older
black
ones.
people to do for us since we're helping with the protest. Number 7, please try it. Try the bean casserole. It's delicious.
The green bean casserole.
Try it. I'm telling you,
I'm on.
stop
I'm on
turning your
pass.
noses up at it.
No.
Try the bean casserole.
No, thank
These are things that white people want black people to do now that they're helping with the protest. Number 8, listen to country music.
I'll do that.
Really? That's doable.
I'll
yeah.
do that.
Yeah, that's doable.
Listen,
I like
we listen
that.
to
We like
rap.
country. Yeah, we like country. We do.
Just asking
Yeah,
you to
we
listen
like
to country.
Well, they
Which
do
I
tell
do
good
anyway.
stories. Country
Yeah,
music.
Yes.
absolutely do.
Okay.
We like country.
And here's one. This will really be big. Not going to get a lot of people to do this, but dear black people, since we participated in the protests, this is something else we'd like for you to help us with. Number 9,
What is it, Steve?
watch more. Watch more of the 700 Club. He's on there, guys. Hey, Bishop Jake's not the only guy. Potter's House, not the only thing. Okay? Creflo Dollar, nice guy. Not saying anything against him. He's not the only one.
Okay.
Need you guys. Come on.
Okay.
Hey,
I ain't mad at
hey,
you.
you give
I
Joel,
ain't mad at you.
give Joel Osteen a shot. We're asking you.
That's okay.
700 Club.
All right.
Got on their list.
Yeah, another one.
And this is the last one. This is going to cut deep. Dear black people, since we participated in the protest, these are some things that we would like for you to help us out with. And this goes to athletes, celebrities, and certain black comedians. Please.
Certain black.
Please leave some white women for us.
High five, Carla, on that
I love it.
Come on, Steve Harvey.
Okay.
Make us laugh.
Those are the things that white people are asking black people to do since they're helping in the protest. I want to thank y'all for being out in the streets marching for racial equality and
Absolutely.
justice. Thank you so much. And we will consider those top 10 things that requested. You have like no chance of them trying the bean casserole though.
Zero.
What about the pumpkin pie?
The pumpkin pie, they might do that. Oh, wow.
We on that sweet potato.
Sweet potato, yeah.
Oh,
We'll
wow.
do what we can. We'll do what we can.
We hear you.
Yeah.
We hear you.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Coming up next, church complaints with Reverend Motown, Deacon Def Jam right after this. Yes.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, Miss Ann is standing by with today's national news. Joe Biden will offer his condolences to the Floyd family in person. Utah Senator Mitt Romney marched with Black Lives Matter protesters in Washington yesterday. And we will get an update on Tropical Storm Cristobal. It slams into the Gold Coast. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about all of these stories at the top of the hour. But first, it is Monday. You know what that means. Time to lighten things up. With Reverend Motown and Deacon Def Jam, they are here with church complaints.
We
Take your time now.
are here on this Monday,
Yes, we are.
angry, fed up,
Yeah.
fuselage.
What did you?
We-
What was that? Future what?
Fuselage.
What is that, Pastor?
That goes right after angry and fed up.
Fuselage. Okay.
I am personally doing these church complaints under protest.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm doing, while I'm handling these complaints, I'm kneeling.
At the same time. Go ahead.
Just
Pastor.
so you
Kneel
know.
on.
I'm protesting. Go ahead, Deacon.
Well, Pastor, let me say this. We don't have any church complaints. Let me try to rephrase that. We have some, but they're all
not really. Why is
they're
you
all
over here?
channeled towards you, Pastor.
Oh, okay.
All of the church complaints
Okay.
are towards you.
Okay, then you
And-
do understand how all the responses will be channeled, don't you?
And I understand that, Pastor, but
Okay,
what I
well,
cannot
go
do-
ahead. You ain't got to say no more. Go ahead.
All right. Pastor, it's been brought to our attention that you have made a very large purchase. And we are trying to figure out, did you use the church's money for this purchase?
Oh. Yeah, we want to know.
Well, first of all, you can't believe everything you hear. Because everything you hear ain't the truth.
Right. But let me ask you something, Pastor. Did you make a large purchase?
No, I did not.
We
Pastor,
are
I'm going to
in
ask you
church.
something again. Are you lying?
Yeah, because we are in church, Pastor.
No, see, you don't understand.
No, I'm just asking, are you lying, Pastor, right now?
No, I'm not lying. I'm being uninformative of a situation
So you're voiding the
which
question?
can cause
of a what,
a
Pastor? A what?
disputation of the clientele. Boy, you better talk now. Explain yourself. Go ahead, Deacon.
All right, Pastor, well, let me ask you this here. Have you spent millions of dollars
No, sir.
on anything? Have you done that,
Now,
Pastor?
let me ask you a question. How many members?
I do the asking.
Well, I'm just going to ask you, how many members is at the Jackpot Joint of Jerusalem? How many?
We have
members
right
do we
now,
have?
we have 982 members at the Jackpot Joint of Jerusalem.
982 members.
That's what we have. And all of them have heard that there's a possibility that you have been making large purchases.
Well, I must admit, now let's listen to this here.
Let's bring
When
it to
I'm
the
not
forefront.
preaching, I have other opportunities that have been presented to me. As
You
a
have
man
other opportunities that have done what?
that have been presented to me.
And
And
what
I've
has
taken
been
full
what has been
advantage.
presented to you?
Well, first of all, I bought a steak in Smokey's Pig House.
Smokey's Pig House. Now you
right
talking
there.
about right there on 11th and
Exactly.
Cary.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I made investment in that several years ago, and I bought them out. Business is going good. Also, cotton candy is doing really well.
I seen that at the carnival. So you saying at the carnival, that's your cotton candy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, my great grandfather invented cotton candy.
Oh.
Who is your granddaddy that invented cotton candy?
Willis Candy. And so therefore, all these things is coming into fruition.
All right, so you got the pig, you did the box, and then Willis candy, you part of that as well.
Well, the cotton candy I was referring to was actually a strip club
Oh, it's a strip club.
that serves cotton candy.
All right, is there anything else that you've invested in that the church don't know about?
Yes, I have.
Well, would you please tell us what you have invested in? Because
I
right now
have
we're trying to.
a weave company called Perfect Hair. And
Boy, this boy crazy. Perfect hair. All right.
yes, sir. It's just raining hair.
Yeah.
Hair. Matter of fact, let me tell you how much hair we selling. We selling the hair back to China.
Wait a minute. The hair comes from China. Y'all selling it back to China?
We taking black people's hair and selling it to the Chinese.
It's all part of the movement.
Yeah.
Import,
We gonna
export.
even this thing out. Yeah. Now y'all finna look like us. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's a big seller. All the Chinese are loving it right now. It's gonna go absolutely wonderful.
All right, Pastor. Before we go, is there anything else that the church need to know that you have put money on that we didn't know? I didn't know nothing about the hair, nor the pig, nor the cotton candy.
And last
Anything
but
else?
not least, on the radio show, Nephew Tommy has prank CDs. And he thought they was in Walmart. I actually had them in Target, and I kept all that money too.
All right, thank you, Pastor.
You know the I'm bastard you. I didn't know you.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll have some national news for you right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Joe Biden will express his condolences in person and meet with the Floyd family today in Houston before George Floyd's funeral. The former VP vice president has also taped a video message to be played during the funeral service. In addition, Reverend Al Sharpton and attorney Ben Crump will speak at George Floyd's final service on tomorrow, Tuesday.
Can I say something, Shirley?
Yes, of course.
This is what Donald Trump should be trying to do.
He should be
But
at this
because
funeral, Steve.
he doesn't have a compassionate bone in his body.
No, doesn't appear
You
to
know,
be
that
It
little
would
one
move
phone
him,
call
Steve.
he made to the Floyd family,
For 2 minutes.
he could
Talk
have
to
done
his
something
brother.
else.
Yeah, and they said they couldn't get a word in edgewise. He just overtalked.
If he
and
showed up,
overtalked
he'd
and
get
overtalked.
booed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd disrupt the whole funeral. Yeah, he would. At this point, people are just too
Yeah.
angry at him. Right.
Yeah, it's going to be at the fountain.
But you know what, y'all? For some reason, I think this is good. I think we show exactly who Trump is, and hopefully
Oh,
when
we
we
knew
get to
who
the
he was.
polls,
He's right.
Oh,
We knew
it's-
who
you
he
it's
know,
was.
I
excellent.
think this is good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's always good to know who the real person is and what they'll do
Right.
in times
But
like
the part
these.
that's scary to me is it's also gonna show us whether this country is healed or continually sick.
Yeah, that's the scary part. You're absolutely right.
Uh-huh.
Because if he gets back in, if he gets voted back in, business as usual.
It's something really wrong.
Yeah, business as usual, So we just have to do our due diligence and we have to vote. I mean, that's what we can do.
Period.
Yeah.
We got to march to the polls like we marching in droves.
That's right.
Droves,
That's right. Say it again, Jay.
We got to march to the polls like we're marching right now in droves.
That's right. All right. George Floyd's funeral will be tomorrow at the Fountain of Praise Church in Houston. And, wow, it's been a lot going on. And this will be his final resting place, right, in Houston?
Yes, it's one today.
Yes.
Public viewing today. And
Public
then
viewing,
tomorrow,
and then tomorrow
is the final celebration of his life.
And the burial,
Yes.
Wow, that family has been through so much, so much. In trending news, Washington, D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser had Black Lives Matter. She had a whole mural, in case you haven't seen this and who hasn't seen it. I love this. She had a whole mural, Black Lives Matter mural, painted on the street that leads to where? The White House.
Yes.
I love
You can see it from the window.
You can see it. Yes, you can. It leads to the White House where protesters have been demonstrating. Mayor Bowser also renamed the street in front of what? The White House. Black Lives Matter Plaza Northwest.
Okay.
Jesus. We're going to change
Mayor
some other streets.
Bowser.
I can't breathe. We're going to change some more damn streets.
Also, we got to shout out Utah Senator Mitt Romney. He joined the protesters yesterday in Washington.
Come on, Mitt.
He said, we need a voice against racism. We need to stand up and say Black Lives Matter. All right, Steve, time to get to the latest on Tropical Storm Cristobal and more of today's headlines.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ann Tripp.
And this is Ann Tripp with the news. The body of George Floyd, arrived in Houston yesterday, and today thousands of people will have the opportunity to pay their respects to the man seen on video being strangled to death by a Minneapolis cop. George Floyd was raised in Texas, and a public viewing is being held today at the Fountain of Praise Church in Houston. To ensure social distancing, by the way, only 15 people will be let in at a time. Each person can only stay for 10 minutes, and of course it goes without saying that everybody has to wear a mask. Tomorrow's funeral service will be private and reserved for only family and friends, and a number of high-profile guests, including Houston's Mayor Sylvester Turner, will be there, Reverend Al Sharpton, boxing great Floyd Mayweather, who is actually paying for the funeral. Meanwhile, Derek Chauvin, the now former Minneapolis cop, scheduled to make his first court appearance today. Chauvin's charged with second-degree murder for the death of George Floyd. Mr. Floyd captured on video pleading for his life and saying he couldn't breathe as Chauvin pinned his neck under his knee for over 8 minutes, 3 of which after he stopped moving. George Floyd died nearly 2 weeks ago, and the 3 other now fired cops involved in his arrest have been charged with aiding and abetting the death. Now get this, though, according to the New York Times, it looks like those 3 other men do not exactly intend marching up the river hand in hand with Derek Chauvin, each facing up to 40 years in prison if convicted. The Times says 2 of the 3 are blaming Chauvin for everything. He was a senior officer on scene, and the 3rd man is said to be cooperating with authorities as well. And national professional sports teams continue expressing outrage over the police murder of Mr. Floyd, police brutality, all that. The Milwaukee Bucks joined protesters yesterday wearing T-shirts reading, "I can't breathe." And racist policing is a personal thing for the NBA team. Apparently, one Bucks player, Sterling Brown, you may remember, sued Milwaukee police 2 years ago when white officers used a stun gun on him when he complained about being arrested over a simple parking violation. People still talking about how President Trump referenced the late George Floyd while talking about an improvement in the economy. Now Fox News is apologizing for showing a rather sick graphic seeming to show that the stock markets gained after every police murder or assassination of an African American. Folks on Twitter were outraged, disgusted, pointing out that the market is in flux and you could use any event to make a connection like that if you want, like the last 4 full moons. Not to mention that the Fox graphic was in extremely poor taste. General Colin Powell tells CNN that for him this November, Joe Biden is the man.
I'm very close to Joe Biden on a social matter and on a political matter. I've worked with him for 35, 40 years, and he is now the candidate and I will be voting for him.
Powell also joining a list of other retired generals and admirals who's criticized Trump's threat to basically sick the active duty military police on demonstrators. Just the Duchess of Sussex was the commencement speaker for her old LA school Saturday, and she's a conscious black woman. Meghan Markle spoke about Black Lives Matter.
George Floyd's life mattered, and Breonna Taylor's life mattered, and Philando Castile's life mattered, and Tamir Rice's life mattered, and so did so many other people whose names we know and whose names we do not know. I know you know that Black Lives Matter. So I am already excited for what you are going to do in the world.
Now back to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
In Clay, North Carolina, during Black Lives Matter's protests, a group of white police officers and other community leaders came together to wash their black brothers and sisters' feet. Take a listen to this white man on the megaphone leading the prayer, asking for forgiveness of his white ancestors. Wow.
Lord, where we as a church, a white church, have used you as a persecution towards black people, Lord, as we've burnt crosses, as we've burnt churches, God, where we're meant to be symbols of your love and of your goodness, and we've used it as a weapon against people of color. And Lord, we repent, Lord, on behalf of all of our people.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow, man. That's going in right there.
The world is changing, man.
Yes.
It's changing right in front of our eyes. We're watching some things change.
I'm glad to be
that
a
I
part
didn't
of
think
this
I would see in my lifetime.
In our lifetime, right?
Tommy.
Yeah. I did not think I would see this.
Oh, never.
I had always
Hope for it.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That one day
Wish
we would
that we
be
could
rid of
get
racism.
some help with this problem, because I just did not understand the lack of help, just the acknowledgement of the problem that this must be for us. I just could never understand how can they not see what this must be like? Can they not just reverse it? If this was happening to you, how would you feel? I just kept waiting on that. And it's just really, really just enlightening to see, man. I saw some police officers participating in the protest on their knees, holding hands with protesters and stuff. You know, it's very different this time.
Very
and people
different.
who you never hear from in terms of speaking up. You know, people were talking about Michael Jordan, but man, let me tell you something. I think the Republicans buy tennis shoes comment got taken way out of proportion on the man, and had him looking some kind of way. But this man just gave $100 million.
Saw that.
That's a lot of
Listen
money.
to me, y'all.
That's a lot of paper,
That's a
man.
lot of money.
That's game-changing paper right there.
Yes, sir.
And so, you know, man, you have to fight this war of racism on all the levels. Did you see this security company in North Carolina that came out, and the CEO wrote a letter in defiance and just dogging out the protesters?
Yes, and the Carolina Panthers have cut ties with
The
that security
Panthers and every other North Carolina school or system that had anything to do with that company called CPI have pulled they're a sponsor of theirs, have pulled the product from that. That CEO just gonna lose his job.
Beautiful.
Because
That's
what
the only
made
way you're
him
gonna
write a damn
change.
letter, his own arrogant ass self?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way these things are going to change, Steve. Yeah. All right, coming up at 34 minutes after the hour, Snoop Dogg will vote for the very first time this November. We'll talk about it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Well, 48-year-old Snoop Dogg did a recent radio interview in L.A., and he revealed why he never chose to vote and why he feels it's especially important to make his vote be heard in the 2020 election. Take a listen.
I ain't never voted a day in my life, but this year I think I'm going to get out and vote because I can't stand to see this punk in office one more year. For many years, they had me brainwashed thinking that you couldn't vote because you had a criminal record. I didn't know that. My record's been a sponge because we got to make a difference. I can't talk about it and not be about it. I can't tell you to do it and then don't go do it. Everybody know I'm a frontliner. I ain't going to tell you to do something that I didn't do. If I tell you to do something, I done done it already.
All right,
Come on,
Snoop.
Snoop. That's what I want to hear, baby.
He'll help a
That's
lot
what
of
I
people
want to
with
hear.
that. Yeah, he'll help a lot of people with that.
I like that.
Yeah.
See, but that will make a change because
Yes.
it strips away the embarrassment of having to say you've never voted before. It's always a good time to start.
Yeah.
It's never too late to do the right thing.
That's right.
Hello.
That's right.
That's right.
Hello.
And this
And I think
election
that
is
him
so
saying
important.
that is just, you know, that's just a very, very powerful statement. But y'all, we've got to get out and vote because let me tell you something, man. You can put a stop to some of this madness. We don't have to turn on the TV every day and be humiliated and embarrassed by something that the president of this country has said. I can't travel abroad nowhere without hearing a lady in Monte Carlo in a store, in a Prada store, asked me, "Why did you all let this happen?" What? And I was mad. What the hell you mean how I let it happen? You know, I damn near had attitude, but they don't understand. And I can't go to any country without them bringing up the topic of Donald Trump. Anywhere. And it's embarrassing. And I mean, man, we have a chance to do something about it. And let him go deal with these subpoenas that he's ignored and won't turn over this records and that. Because the state of New York, they waiting on him not to be president. Because you going to have to turn in all this mess, partner.
Or else.
Right.
Oh.
Yes, that's one of the reasons he don't want to lose. It has nothing to do with him helping.
That's the biggest reason.
He's just afraid, right?
Because he don't want to dance to the music.
Your
man.
clock is ticking, partner.
And the music's waiting for him.
Your clock
That's
is
right.
ticking.
So if this is your first time, be like Snoop and go ahead and get to those polls and vote this November, please.
Now,
Hey, man,
since it's
and we
legal in L.A., can you take weed to the voting place? Because it is legal here.
You can't focus smoking at the polls, boy. No, I'm
so
Team
damn
Jay,
Well,
but not
you
Jay.
can
We
hit that
can't
when you-
do that.
Tommy, when you come out, you can fire up. Really, you can.
Okay,
Come
well,
out.
hey,
Your whole life is dedicated to not knowing what's going on. What the hell is wrong with you, man?
He's just
Yeah,
asking, right?
you gotta be
This is
focused
how
when
I
you go to
eat,
the polls,
okay?
Jay.
Damn
You
it.
can't-
The minute I get focused, show over. Okay, I'm done.
Let that be known.
Yeah, you got a good point there, Jay. I think we like you unfocused.
Man, we got a show, man. We got a different type of show. We got two different. We got a dude that's committed to weed and a dude that's committed to stupidity. And I mean, at levels.
Exhausting, right?
No one
of
else
them-
has that. No one else has that.
Mine
Steve.
is safe though.
Our show is
Not all
unique.
the time.
Then we got a young engineer
Well, you're right.
that works with us that don't like none of us. Because we just owe to her.
Shout out to Crystal.
10 seconds, guys. Damn it.
We love our girl, Crystal.
Oh my God.
I said 10 seconds. Jesus, these people are old. They can't hear.
So listen, if you've not registered to vote or if you need information, go to former First Lady Michelle Obama's voter initiative website, whenweallvote.org. All right, listen, coming up next, Nephew Tommy with his prank phone call right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, it's my strawberry letter for today. Subject, I'm falling in love with a big baby. I'm falling in love with a big baby. Wait till you hear this letter. J. Anthony Brown. I don't know why it said your name, but something about this one. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Right now, it's time for the nephew to give us the prank for today. What you got, Neff?
Can I borrow your freezer?
What?
Makes sense to me.
Can I borrow
It would.
your freezer?
Yeah. It's a simple.
No, I don't think I'm asking for much. Can I borrow
A freezer?
your freezer?
I'm not asking you to give it to me. Can I borrow it?
Exactly. Exactly.
Which means you're going to give it back.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just can I borrow your freezer? That's all I want.
Oh, Lord.
Can I borrow your freezer?
I love it when you do that.
Can I borrow your freezer? All right, Cat Dog, let's go. Can I borrow your freezer?
Allied Equipment, this is Trina. How can I help you?
I'm trying to reach Dale. Dale's the manager, right?
Yes, Dale is the manager. How can I help you?
Okay. Is Dale available? Is he there?
He's actually with a customer. Is there something that I can help you with or pass along a message?
Okay, so y'all Allied Equipment, what exactly do y'all have there? I'm going to make sure I'm calling the right place.
Oh, yes, of course. It's a restaurant supply company. So we have, everything from freezers, refrigerators to your basic restaurant supplies.
Okay. Well, y'all do have freezers because that's what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is I've run out of freezer space, and I'm trying to see if possibly, my back is up against the wall right now. I'm trying to see if I can possibly put something in one of you all's freezers for a couple of days until I get freed up on this end. So that's why I wanted to see if you guys would allow me to do something like that. Is that possible?
Sir, sorry, I'm a little confused. You don't want to buy a freezer. You just want to put something in one of our freezers?
I just want to put something in there for a couple of days because I have a freezer, but mine is completely full. And I'm trying to see if I can put something in you all's freezer until, for a couple of days, and then I'll come back and get it.
I'm so sorry. We don't do that. If you wanted to come by and purchase a freezer, I'm happy to help you, but we don't allow outside vendors to put things in our freezers. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I was told if Dale would hear what was going on, he might be able to help me though.
Okay. You said your name was Kevin?
Kevin.
Okay, Kevin. If you just hold a moment, I will see if Dale can take your call.
That's what the hell I asked in the first place, is to speak to Dale.
Okay, then. Hold on a moment, please.
Hey, this is Dale. How can I help you?
Hey, Dale, how you doing? This is Kevin. And I've been on the phone with your salesperson. But let me tell you what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to use you have a lot of walk-in freezers that you all sell, right?
Right, we do, yep.
Okay. So what I got is my freezer is completely full, man. And my back is against the wall. You came highly recommended to give you a call. Is it possible for me to I need to keep something frozen for a few days. It's only going to be like 2 days. My freezer will be half empty in a couple of days. I just need somebody to just kind of help me out here. Is it possible for me to bring something over there to keep it frozen for a couple of days?
What we got is a showroom, with different displays so you could see what different kind of refrigerators look in your restaurant. But, I mean, if you want to come and take a look at one, I could have you in if you're interested in buying one. But they're just there for show,
Right. No, I have a cooler. I have a freezer already, but like I say, mine is just full. In a couple of days, it won't be, and I really got to get this stuff on frozen, man. I'm gonna be in trouble. Like I say, I'm my back against the wall over here, man, and I can't remember who recommended you, but you came highly recommended that you might be able to show me a little love on this.
Look, I guess it comes down. It depends on what do you need. How much do you have that you need frozen? I mean, I don't even know what you got.
Well, I got 3 bodies that I need to get to keep frozen, man. We run a mortuary over here. This is Bozeman Mortuary. Yeah, we got 3
people bodies.
Yeah, we got 3 bodies and like I say, my freezer's full, man. But in a couple of days, these bodies, the funerals would have happened, so we'll be freed up, But right now, I got 3 bodies coming in today that I got to get in the freezer.
Are you crazy? Are you out of your damn mind?
No, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious, bro. So, like I said, you came highly recommended, and I'm just trying to get somebody to show me a little love, man. You got those freezers. You don't have nothing in them. I just need it for a couple of days.
You got to be out of your mind. We're not talking about ice. This isn't chicken wings or a pork shoulder. These are people. You are out of your mind, man.
But listen to me, Dale. Listen to me. You don't understand how serious this is. I have to keep them frozen. That's the reason why I'm calling you. I'm needing your help, man.
Yeah, I understand that. Look, if you want to, I'll have you come in. You buy your own freezer. You can put your own bodies in your own freezer. How am I supposed to show off my showroom with frozen bodies in the freezer.
But just don't show that one for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? Don't show it. Or we'll just you know what? Here what we could do. We could put the bodies in there, just cover them up, and people won't know what it is.
Yeah, and then I get a buyer that comes in and the cover falls off it, and I got a frozen dead body in my freezer. Is that even legal?
I don't know, man. All I'm saying is, here's the deal, man. You came highly recommended. They told me that you would probably show me some love. I'm actually, getting ready to load up and come your way.
Dude, you keep those dead bodies away from my store. I'm telling you right now. I can't hook you up on this one, all right? I just can't do it.
Okay, but we finna load up and come that way, though, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, what am I supposed to do?
I have you know what? You want to come talk to me. You want to buy a freezer for yourself, and you want to freeze your dead bodies on your own. I don't care. I'll sell you a freezer. I got no problem with selling you a freezer, but you're not bringing the bodies here. It's just not happening.
So if Alonzo calls you and green lights it, is it okay then?
I highly doubt Alonzo's going to call me and tell me to put 3 dead bodies on our showroom floor freezers. I highly doubt that.
Okay. But guess what Alonzo told me?
What did Alonzo tell you?
Alonzo told me to give you a call. He told me to give you a prank phone call. This is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Come on. Are you serious?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Get
sir.
out
Yes,
of
sir.
here. That's incredible. Oh, I'm having my chest hurts. Oh, jeez, that guy.
Oh, you just got pranked by your GM, baby. That's what's happening right here. All right, man, give me one more thing. You got to tell me this right here, Dale. What is the baddest, and I'm talking about the baddest radio show in the land?
It is the Steve Harvey Morning Show, my friend.
Now,
Oh, my God, Tommy. Really?
But it's a
Really?
freezer. I just want to buy.
Really?
I just want to put a body in here for a minute, okay?
It's not going to affect the meat that's already in there.
Ground turkey burgers.
You're not going to eat hot dogs and go, ooh, these hot dogs
Your
taste like
sausage
everybody
and your steak gonna still be the same.
Steve, you have nothing.
I was laughing at Jay. I couldn't.
Oh, so you're in on this one. Okay.
No, I ain't in on
Damn
Yes,
right
you are.
he in.
He got caught up. He got caught up. All right. Thank you, nephew. I guess. Coming up next, Strawberry Letter. Subject, I'm falling in love with a big baby. We'll get into it right after this. It reminds me of Jay. I don't know.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Time now for the Strawberry Letter, guys. If you need advice on relationships, see how we switch that up. If you need advice on relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to steveharveyfm.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to read your letter live on the air.
Pop
just
it,
like
Shirley.
That's for you, Jay.
Pop
just
that
like
baby.
we're going to do this one right here, right now. That's for you, Jay.
Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is, the Strawberry Letter.
Subject, I'm falling in love with a big baby. Dear Steve and Shirley, I'm 40 years old and my boyfriend is a 45-year-old successful businessman. He's divorced and has 1 kid from his marriage. We've been dating for 7 months and I love his kid and I get along well with his ex-wife. A few weeks ago, his ex and I were chatting in the driveway when she dropped their child off. She asked me if my boyfriend had revealed his big secret to me yet. I asked her what was she talking about, and she assured me that that it wasn't about him cheating or anything like that. But it's very strange, and it was the cause of their divorce. What she told me had me curious. So the next day, I asked my boyfriend if he'd been keeping anything from me. He admitted that he was holding back something that he really wanted to share with me. That night, when I was getting ready for bed, he asked me to step out of the room so he could surprise me with his secret. I stood out the room until I heard "Come on in, Mommy," in what sounded like a baby's voice. I opened the door and he yelled, "Mommy, Mommy, come in." He was on the bed on all fours wearing a cloth diaper and white footies. I stood there in amazement and he said, "I was bad, Mommy, and I need a thanking." I screamed and ran out of the house. And when I got in my car, I called his ex-wife and told her I found out his secret. She said it's called infantilism, and he's been doing it for years. I'm staying with my parents temporarily, and he's been blowing up my phone asking for a second chance. He is perfect for me in every way except this one. I will never be comfortable with this kind of role playing. Should I scrap the man because he's a little weird, or should I help him work through this? Infantilism. I looked it up. It means retention of childish physical, mental, or emotional qualities in adult life. Okay, what? Okay. So just out of the blue, he puts on a diaper and wants you to spank him, and he's talking baby talk? Yeah, I would say that's weird. I would just say that's weird. Girl. I mean, I don't know anyone who does this. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but I don't know anyone who's into this. Shay, why are you laughing? It does sound weird. It sounds very weird. But I mean, to be honest, it also it sounds kind of harmless. It sounds harmless. But I mean, it doesn't sound scary. It doesn't sound like anyone will be seriously injured in the process or anything like that. I mean, you know, I just don't spank so hard, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Should you scrap the man or help him work through this, you ask? What? Because you say he's perfect for you in every way except this particular role-playing situation. And you're not complaining about him acting up or cheating or anything else, but you're not personally or professionally equipped to handle him and to help him work through this. So as I see it, you have three options, okay? You can, number one, you could stay gone over your parents' house. Stay gone, okay? Don't come back to this mess. Or you can come back and get into it and spank him. Or you could do that. I'm just saying, if you're into it. Hey, some people might be into it. She said he's perfect in every way other than that. Or three, see if this is something that requires therapy, because it sounds like it does. See if this is something. Do your research, something that you can work through, okay? Because you say this guy is perfect in every way. Those are your three options as far as I see it. All right, yeah. Steve?
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for this. Ain't nobody got no damn time for this foolishness right here. This punk ass sitting up here and put some damn white booties on and a diaper. Here, mommy, you are, what? Nobody got time for this. This ain't even a mama's boy. This a mama's baby. Y'all sit up in here. Y'all got enough to work through in the relationship. You gonna add it. It ain't been but 7 months. Run. Get your ass out. Where is this going? And then his ex-wife had to tell you about it. Why you think he got an ex-wife? If he all that, he's so damn perfect. He 45. Why ain't he got nobody? Listen to me. This is what you ought to do. Drop his ass off at daycare and drive off.
I like that.
Leave his ass right there. I got more for this letter when I come back, but this right here, this is nowhere for you, lady. You've got to be kidding me. Why would you take this on? You can't it's called infantilism. Mm-hmm. What?
It's a thing?
Man, you got to get past. What about just infidelity?
Well, she said he doesn't cheat. She said that. All right, hang on,
I'd rather
Steve.
that than come in here and your ass got a diaper on and you done poo-pooed in this damn bed and you rolling around in it talking about I need to get white.
Okay,
you
hold
get
on.
your ass whooped. Ain't nobody
Hold
got
on,
no time.
Steve.
Nothing Shirley said.
We'll have part 2 of your response coming up at 23 minutes after the hour. Today's letter, I'm falling in love with a big baby. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, come on. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter subject. I'm falling in love with a big baby.
Yeah, and I'm not recapping a damn thing. Listen to me.
You gotta let the people know.
Now, if y'all, this woman is in love with this man that's got a problem. His ex-wife told the woman about him. She get along with the ex-wife. Got a little kid. She love the kid. Now, here the problem is. He suffers with this thing called infantilism.
Mm-hmm.
Where he told her, she asked him, is that something she wants to see? He said, yeah, it actually is. Told her to go out the room. She go out the room, come back. His big ass, 45-year-old man done put a diaper on, got on some damn white socks, and in the flow talking about he wants her to spank him. Mommy, it's me.
Say it in baby talk, Steve. You gotta say it
in
like
baby talk. My mommy come in there. I was it. What? Man, if you don't get your ass out of this bed, and see, because you don't know how far this is going. This ain't therapy. You ain't got time for this. I don't care how great of a guy he is. He got some other damn problem. Listen to me.
Come on, Steve. Baby talk.
Any minute, Mama, I'm gonna get your black ass up and get out off this bed. And put your damn pants on. Where's your drawers? He got a diaper on sitting up in here. He's sitting up in here. Now he poo-pooing on himself. You got to wipe his big ass.
She did not say that in the letter.
Well, I'm just saying,
But
you don't know how far this is going.
Uh-huh.
If he plays this infantilism, how far is he going to go? Is he going to wake up one morning and decide he don't feel like going to work because he won't go outside and play? What is he finna do?
But say it in baby talk.
I don't want to go to work today. I want to stay in the house
You don't
to
want to go to
play.
work today?
No, I don't want to go to work. I want to watch cartoons.
Well, you got to go to work. We got to eat. You got to make.
I just want a bottle. I don't want to eat. I want to eat. I want applesauce.
We don't have no applesauce. We all out. We're completely out of applesauce.
You know why we out of applesauce? Because my ass ain't been to work this month.
What you gonna do about that? Are you gonna go?
I don't know. I was going to keep this diaper on and see how long I can milk this thing. You see how this sounds? It don't make no damn sense. We got to stop this here. We got to stop this here. We cannot, lady, get out of this relationship. I don't give a damn what he talking about. The lady told you what he do. He been doing it for years. Are you familiar with this secret? No. So you asked him about it. He get on all for it. I've been wanting to tell you about it. What? That's craziness. He's a grown-ass man. You ain't got time to go back to infantilism.
He needs help, Steve.
Now, at 45, he got about another 30 years. He may be in that diaper any damn way. See? So now, what he wearing it for now? See? He in the diaper now. That's too early. I'm just sick of people like this here. Of all the letters we got, you know what?
There's stuff going on
know what
in
you
the
ought to
world,
do?
Steve.
Pull his diaper down and beat his ass.
That's what he wants. That's what he wants.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna believe.
He needs help.
I'd give him some wood. I'd snatch that diaper down, and I got some sci-fi stuff in the house.
You pledging him?
Place his ass, boy.
Baby talk one more time.
Who is that? Who's that baby?
Oh wait, this is baby talk right here. Watch this. I want you to say. Oh wait, watch.
Don't bring
A real baby.
I don't want to play no more.
That's baby talk. I don't want to play no more, Mama. You beating me too hard.
All right.
Oh, now you got to try to control the baby.
See, hey, man,
I don't know why this letter reminded me of Jay, though.
Oh my God. I've done some kinky things, but that one I have done. Shirley.
I didn't know this
marked
was
me
a
down
thing.
for a lot of stuff.
Hey. So
yeah,
cute.
so that's real baby talk. Say this right here. Say, spank me really hard.
Spank me really hard.
No, say, spank me really hard.
Spank me really hard.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna walk in the bedroom, your 45-year-old man sound like that. How that gonna work?
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
I'm in total disagreement.
Did you all want to finish your
Okay,
role
go
play?
ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Let's do a
Jay.
little bit more. Go ahead, Jay. Ask me something.
So you don't, I think you need a nap. You should just take a nap, and that would be,
I don't want to take a nap.
oh, you don't want no nap? You want a cookie? You
A
want
cookie?
to get breastfed? You want that?
Not from you, sir. Even though you may be capable, not from you. And I don't want one of your cookies either, because your cookie, the last time I had your cookie, Uncle Jay, I was high as hell.
That's what you should do. Get one of these cookies I got and knock his ass out.
All right, thank you guys. Post your comments on today's Strawberry Letter at Steve Harvey FM on Instagram and Facebook. And coming up at 46 minutes after the hour, time to get really serious. In trending news, Minneapolis City Council, they have announced their intent to disband the Minneapolis Police Department. Wait till we come back and you hear about this right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Members of the Minneapolis City Council say they're overruling Mayor Jacob Frey and will commit to dismantling their police department, meaning get rid of it completely. The stunning announcement was made on Sunday with 9 out of 13 members coming out in support of that idea, which gives them a majority that can't be vetoed by Mayor Frey. So now, what does this mean exactly, okay? The council members admit it won't be an immediate change, but make no mistake, they say when the dust settles, Minneapolis will not have a traditional police department. What? The alternative, according to them, is community-based safety, a term they've yet to explain. Wow.
Well, I don't know what that means. I need police in the city I'm living in.
Yeah, you want the good police there to serve.
Now,
and
what they
protect.
have to do, though, is
Make some
they have to go in there and totally revamp the hiring policies and the training policies. They have to ban chokeholds. They have to ban shooting in the back.
Yeah.
And they have to ban knees on your neck. See, that's because, look, man, if a guy, and it has to be consequences for murder. If you kill a person who is unarmed, under no circumstances is that allowed. You're going to go do some jail time. If you're murdered, you cannot murder a person for resisting arrest. That's not a killable offense. And you're not judge and jury. You're the police. Your job is to protect and serve. And so far, that's not been what some of the police officers have done, especially in that black community. So I think they have to change policies, and I think they have to have a directive come down and just let it be known. If you shoot an unarmed person, you're going to do time.
Have you seen that movie, The Purge? You guys have seen that movie?
Yes.
Where it's just
I
lawlessness.
ain't seen Purge. I haven't seen that.
Lawlessness after a certain time at night. People are saying that's what it would be like if we didn't have the police, the good cops to serve and protect.
If you don't have police, you got to have law and order.
Yeah, you have to.
But
You
the
have
law and
chaos, right?
right, but the law and order has to be fair and just across the board. And the most law and order that needs to be put into place right now, because we have law and order for regular people, we don't have law and order for police. Is what we don't have.
That's true.
They're the ones right now. We have to police the police because they cannot be able to continue to get away with these crimes against people of color.
Yeah.
And there are no consequences. If you shoot an unarmed person, that's a crime. If you kill a black person, that's a crime. It's bro. It's a simple ass change.
Yeah. How is it not a crime?
Damn.
Yeah. All right, Steve, coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to talk about voting on Tuesday right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
So, Steve, we just wanted to remind everybody that tomorrow is Super Tuesday. There are 5 states which are holding elections. That is Georgia. That is your home state of West Virginia, Steve. North Dakota, Nevada, and South Carolina, Jay, where you were born.
Wow.
That's one thing this protest is bringing out. It's so many black mayors. It's so many.
That I didn't know about.
Yeah, I was just going to say I didn't know it was that many. I really did.
Also,
which
this is a
great
good
thing.
time if you black to ask white people for stuff.
You're so crazy. All right, so please, please, please go vote today. Your vote matters. You matter.
That's right.
It really, yeah. And this is a prelude to what's to come
So it's
in
Georgia-
November. Georgia, West Virginia, North Dakota, Nevada, and South Carolina.
Important. South Carolina for sure.
Yeah.
Georgia,
South
come on. Y'all
Carolina
got
vote
work
for
to do.
coroner
Yes.
and sheriff, I think.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah, we got to get to the polls and vote. We've got to extend the protests into the polls.
That's right, Steve.
Yes, absolutely, Steve.
Let's extend this protest right on into the polls because they really hear you when their jobs are at stake. So let's get this protest into the polls.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Hey, big dog.
That's why they try
Yes,
so
sir.
hard for you not to
Now,
vote.
let me say this, man. When I go to the polls, Steve, sometimes I can't lie to you, man. Sometimes when it's a sheriff or I don't know who I'm supposed to vote for.
You got to
You know
pay
what I mean?
attention to
Yeah,
the
I just
that's on
don't
you.
know.
You gotta read up.
Yeah, that's on you,
You know,
to educate
that's the
yourself,
part
yeah.
I don't know. And then that's when most people vote just all Democratic. Just honestly, I don't know these people and what I'm doing.
I don't know anybody who goes to the polls that's completely up on every single piece of legislature, every amendment, every bill. I don't know anybody. So
I'm
as
not
you're
by
reading
myself.
over it, like the big ones will have commercials leading up to it. They're trying to pass a bill about something, but they'll give it a dressed up name. But the explanation of it is on the ballot. But the explanation is oftentimes confusing.
Right.
Vote no if you don't wish to be taxed extra, something like that. So they're right. You have to get educated. I don't know anybody that knows all of the issues going in. So just to be honest with you, like right now, on this one, I'm voting Tuesday because I'm in Georgia, and when I vote in November, if I'm confused, I'll just punch Democratic because I'm just sick of this. Listen to me. If you're sitting here and you're in total agreement with Donald Trump just because you're a Republican, then there's something wrong with you. And that's the thing that's gotten me really, really sick this past election about bipartisanship. I mean, it's ridiculous. Your candidate can be ever so wrong, and you know it in your heart that they're wrong, and you won't speak up against it because your silence is consent. And they've consented to this man's behavior through silence, and they're scared to say something because they know he'll tweet about them. So if I'm in the polls and I'm confused, I'm gonna vote Democratic because I'm just tired of the way that they've allowed this man to just do what he wants to do, and nobody has the courage to stand up to him and say, hey, this is not presidential. I don't care if you work on Fox or nowhere else. Now, Hannity is his boy. Hannity is jammed so far up the president's behind. He can't see good. He's done a fantastic job. What? Oh, man, if you listen to Hannity, if you listen to Tucker Carlson,
I think you have to go to the local level, though, because this is what affects you every day. You have
That's
to
the
know.
everyday part, and that's
This
the
is the
stuff that we
everyday
don't
part.
know, Carla.
But you gotta educate yourself.
You
Because
gotta
the
educate
district
yourself.
attorney, the mayor, the police chief,
That's
they
right.
hire all of these people. Schools, what you get resources for at your schools, all of this stuff affects your life every day. And you got to listen to what the president is saying when he did the pandemic. He left it up to the governors. So now you need to know who the governor is because he's running your state. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Coming up, more of today's trending stories on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. We'll be back at 20 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
The Marine Corps has ordered that they are banning the public display of the Confederate flag, a ban that extends to bumper stickers, clothing, mugs, posters, and more. The order directs Marine Corps commanders to find and remove displays of the flags in workplaces, common access areas, and public arenas on base. Exceptions include state flags that include the Confederate flag, individual barracks, and private vehicles.
Long overdue.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
Man. Why is this
Exactly.
still an issue in 2020?
Well,
Like
you know,
everything
see,
else, I
you
guess.
can't keep holding on to symbols of racism and separatism and injustice and then not expect people to constantly remember it and be reminded of it. It's like the Mississippi. They want a Confederate monument taken down in Mississippi. Well, that's our grandfather. Your grandfather owned slaves, man. So I don't really give a damn if it is your grandfather. Your grandfather was wrong. This country was wrong. This country is wrong. And so you have to remove those items that perpetrate that type of thinking. And them generals and all that, and Stone Mountain showing that damn laser show, that racist ass mess. Hillbillies out there hollering. Man, South ain't rising no damn more. This Atlanta, partner. This Atlanta.
All right, Steve, we got more of the Steve Harvey
Come
Morning
down here
Show.
with that rise if you want to. They got something for you down here.
And some trending news at 33 minutes after the hour, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Joe Biden will express his condolences in person and meet with the Floyd family today in Houston before George Floyd's funeral. The former VP vice president has also taped a video message to be played during the funeral service. In addition, Reverend Al Sharpton and attorney Ben Crump will speak at George Floyd's final service on tomorrow, Tuesday.
Can I say something, Shirley?
Yes, of course.
This is what Donald Trump should be trying to do.
He should be
But
at this
because
funeral, Steve.
He doesn't have a compassionate bone in his body.
No, doesn't appear
You
to
know,
be
that little
would
one
boo him,
phone
Steve.
call he made to the Floyd family.
For 2 minutes.
He could have done something else.
Yeah, and they said they couldn't get a word in edgewise. He just overtalked.
If he
and
showed up,
overtalked
he'd
and
get
overtalked.
booed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd disrupt the whole funeral. Yeah, he would. Yeah. At this point, people are just too angry at him. Right.
Yeah, it's going to be at the fountain.
But you know what, y'all? For some reason, I think this is good. I think we show exactly who Trump is, and hopefully
we
when we
knew
get to
who
the
he was.
polls,
You're right. We knew who he
you
was.
know, I think this is good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's always good to know who the real person is and what they'll do
Right.
in times
But
like
the part
these.
that's scary to me is it's also going to show us whether this country is healed or continually sick.
Yeah, that's the scary part. You're absolutely right. Because if he gets back in, if he gets voted back in, business as usual.
It's something really wrong.
Yeah, business as usual, So we just have to do our due diligence and we have to vote. I mean, that's what we can do.
Period.
Yeah.
We got to march to the polls like we're marching in droves.
That's right.
Droves,
That's right. Say it again, Jay.
We got to march to the polls like we're marching right now in droves.
That's right. All right. George Floyd's funeral will be tomorrow at the Fountain of Praise Church in Houston. And wow, it's been a lot going on. And this will be his final resting place, right, in Houston?
Yes, it's one today.
Yes.
Public viewing today. And
Public
then
viewing
tomorrow,
and then tomorrow
is the final
Tomorrow's
celebration of his life.
and the burial. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, that family has been through so much, much. In trending news, Washington, D.C.'s Mayor Muriel Bowser had Black Lives Matter. She had a whole mural, in case you haven't seen this and who hasn't seen it. I love this. She had a whole mural, Black Lives Matter mural, painted on the street that leads to where? The White House.
Yes.
I love
see it from the window.
You can see it. Yes, you can. It leads to the White House where protesters have been demonstrating. Mayor Bowser also renamed the street in front of what? The White House. Black Lives Matter Plaza Northwest.
Okay.
We're going to change
Mayor
some other streets.
Bowser.
I can't breathe. We're going to change some more damn streets.
All right, coming up, our last break of the day.
Hands up. Don't shoot.
and some closing remarks from the one and only Steve Harvey at 49 minutes after, right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
All right, Steve, here we are, last break of the day on this Monday.
Yeah,
And,
in closing, let me say this. I've not written anything down for this closing remark. It's just really off the top of my head. Most of them are anyway. But in lieu of what's happening in our country, I wanted to say this to offer a glimmer of hope to young people. I was doing an interview, and I said in the interview that protest is a young people's sport because of the way I watch it on TV now, because of the brutality of some of the police's tactics. Protesting is a young people's sport. You got to be able to run, jump over stuff, get back up when you fall. And so I just made the comment that it's protesting is a young person's sport. But as the young people out here protesting, there's some valuable knowledge you can gain from old heads. Cats that have been in the game for a long time that have seen it. I happen to be 63. I've dealt with this my entire life. I've never known a life not filled with protest and anger from black people over the treatment that they've received from police officers, the Klan, skinheads, politicians, the military, and the beat goes on and on and on. So I'm fully aware of what protest is. I have learned, though, the tricks that they use to squash protests too. And I've said it on my radio show. See, this is our platform. This is where Shirley Strawberry and Carla Farrell and J. Anthony Brown and Keir Spates and Thomas Miles, this is where we raise our voice on a daily basis. We are not hidden from public sight. So I'm proud of my morning show for being on the front line every day over the airways, making statements that are maybe not the most popular statement to make. And we've made it over a 20-year period. But the way things are happening now, this glimmer of light that I happen to see that's different from all other protests that I've been involved in, is that we got a little bit of help starting to show up right now. And it's not that black people are not capable. We are. I mean, I think of all the things we've withstood, the 400 years of slavery, the civil rights movement. When I think of all of the lynchings, the tarring, the feathering, the Klan, the skinheads, the unjust judicial system that we thrive under, the passing of laws that's targeted towards poor blacks, the mandatory sentencing laws that have come down that affected so many others that don't affect other people. I think of all of that, and we're still here, and we're still surviving. And so it's not that we can't do it. Oh, we can, because we've done everything else. It's just that in order to really accomplish this, man, we just needed some help this time. We needed some people to say, hey, because we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop getting sick and tired of being mistreated. Black people are not going to get sick and tired of it just, but somebody told me one time, I was talking, they said, man, we're working on it. You guys got to be patient. How much more patience can we have? Slavery was 400 years. How patient can you be? Racism has lasted longer than slavery, because after you ended slavery, the racism part of it continued. And so there is no more patience. There is no more hang in there, we're working on it. No. Like the protesters say, what do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Not next year, not in 2021. We want it today. We want it at this very moment. We want the same thing that you sang about. We want it to apply to us. We want that Constitution that your forefathers wrote to apply to us. We want that Star-Spangled Banner that you require everybody to stand for. We want that Star-Spangled Banner to be sung to us, about us, and with us. If not, we not standing no more. We tired. And it's nothing against the military. It's really not. And it's not against the flag.
It's against the people who uphold the unjust laws for people of color. That's what it's always been about. All of us have family members who have served in the military. We got nothing against the military. Are you kidding me? Some of the finest people ever we knew served in this military. Carla got a husband been in the military. Shirley got relatives. Tommy got relatives. I got relatives. My brother was a Vietnam vet. Came home, y'all called him a baby killer. He said, well, I was over there because y'all sent me over there. We got family members, man. We got nothing against them. We the Tuskegee Airmen. What you talking about? We the Buffalo Soldiers. What you talking about? We was in the military fighting for a country that didn't even want us. What? What? We went to Vietnam with everybody else. That war we wasn't supposed to be in. We went to Gulf War, Afghanistan, and every other war you done created. They ain't got nothing to do with us. We over here fighting for a country don't want us? You gotta be kidding me. This has never been for us about that. It's just been about justice and equality. We want the same treatment. And now I can say I appreciate the folks who are non-blacks that's out there on the front line. Thank you, man. If you ain't part of the solution, you part of the problem. And if you sitting up being silent now, there's something wrong with you. Because ain't like you don't know. We've been in quarantine for 3 months. You know. Okay? Those are my closing remarks. Whether they made sense or not, that's it.
They make plenty of sense. What are you talking about? Yes.
Just got
On
mad.
point.
Well, have a great weekend.
What? It's just Monday.
It's Monday.
Hey, and tomorrow, guys, we got to get out and vote.
Yeah, we do.
That's right,
We
Steve.
got to get out and vote. Georgia's voting. South Carolina's voting.
West Virginia,
Virginia,
North
your
Dakota,
home state.
Nevada, South
West
Carolina,
Virginia.
and Georgia. For all Steve Harvey contests, no purchase necessary, void where prohibited. Participants must be legal U.S. residents at least 18 years old unless otherwise stated. For complete contest rules, visit SteveHarveyFM.com.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.